when the Cold War cast its long, uneasy shadow across the mid-20th century. The threat of nuclear fallout wasn't just a headline. It was a quiet fear that lived in every home. Families stored emergency rations in their basements. Schools ran duck-and-cover drills, and in countless backyards, bunkers became the suburban symbol of preparedness. But not every solution came from governments or military programs. Amid the concrete domes and steel-reinforced fallout shelters, one idea stood apart: a simple, nearly forgotten survival hack so effective, so reliable, that it quietly outlasted the Cold War itself. It required no electricity, no expensive materials, just natural physics, resourcefulness, and human ingenuity. And here's the remarkable part: it still works today, exactly as it did over 60 years ago. Between the 1950s and 1960s, the arms race wasn't only about missiles, it was about mines. Governments urged citizens to prepare for the unthinkable, but the average family couldn't afford the cost of a massive concrete bunker. That necessity sparked a wave of creativity and do-it-yourself innovation. Out of this pressure came one of the most underrated survival designs ever conceived: the Earth Cradle Shelter. A simple, partially buried structure that used the Earth itself as insulation, as protection, and as a shield from radiation. While official fallout shelters demanded tons of concrete and engineered ventilation, the Earth Cradle could be built with little more than shovels, sandbags, and timber. It didn't rely on heavy machinery or specialized training, just a deep understanding of how nature already works. Builders discovered that by carving into a gentle slope, lining the walls with packed soil, and covering the roof with several feet of compacted dirt, they could block more than 90% of radiation. Later field tests even showed that these humble shelters often outperformed government-approved designs. But the true genius of the Earth Cradle wasn't just in its strength, it was in its livability. Concrete bunkers often failed after a few weeks because they trapped moisture and heat, turning into suffocating, damp chambers. The Earth Cradle worked with the environment, not against it. The surrounding soil naturally maintained a stable underground temperature around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, or 13 degrees Celsius. That meant cool summers, warm winters, and a livable interior through almost any condition, even nuclear winter. To that, builders added a clever airflow system that required no power at all. Two simple vents, one low, one high, created natural convection currents. Warm air rose and escaped. Cooler air flowed in. It was passive, efficient, and virtually fail-proof. Tests during nuclear simulations revealed that shelters using this airflow system stayed habitable days longer than sealed concrete rooms. A reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions are also the most enduring. If you were to build one today, for off-grid living, storm protection, or pure curiosity, the method is remarkably straightforward. Dig into a shallow slope or flat ground about 4 to 5 feet deep. Reinforce the walls with sandbags, timber, or stabilized earth bricks. Span the roof with wooden beams or corrugated metal. Then cover it with 2 to 3 feet of compacted soil. Leave a downward-sloped entrance to deflect rain, and add vents, one for intake near the floor, one for exhaust near the roof. The result? A stable, breathable microclimate that protects against heat, cold, storms, even radiation. During the Nevada tests of 1962, these earth shelters astonished observers. A simple dirt layer, just 36 inches thick, cut gamma radiation exposure by up to 98%. The soil absorbed heat and pressure far better than concrete ever could. And unlike massive bunkers, these small, natural designs blended perfectly into the landscape. Invisible, self-sustaining, and quiet, that stealth was no accident. For families and homesteaders of the era, blending in meant safety. From above, these shelters looked like small hills, garden mounds, or root sedges, unremarkable, untraceable, and secure. One enduring innovation from this period came from engineer and survival expert Cresson Kearney. He developed the Kearney air pump, a manually operated fan made of plywood or sheet metal that could circulate over 200 cubic feet of air per minute, powered only by hand. This simple invention transformed underground living. Families could stay below ground for weeks, even months, without suffocation or overheating. And to this day, many off-grid builders still adapt his design for root cellars and storm shelters. What made the Cold War shelter movement so fascinating wasn't just its practicality, it was its philosophy. Builders weren't chasing luxury or technology. They were crafting systems that respected natural forces, airflow, thermal mass, and soil density. Their goal wasn't comfort, it was resilience. The lessons they left behind still matter. Today, modern, sustainable homes, earth-bermed designs, and passive cooling systems all trace their roots back to those experiments in survival. Instead of fighting the environment, these pioneers learned to live within it. Most of the massive government bunkers built during that tense era now sit abandoned, cracked, flooded, and forgotten. But the smaller, humbler shelters, the ones built by farmers, homesteaders, and backyard engineers, still remain. Some serve as storm shelters, others as root cellars or storage spaces. A few are time capsules from the 1950s, perfectly preserved by the very soil that once shielded them. Their survival reminds us that the simplest methods endure, because they're built on timeless principles, not fleeting technology. The forgotten Cold War shelter hack, using soil, passive airflow, and natural insulation, still outperforms many modern systems. And for anyone interested in preparedness, sustainability, or just the lost art of resilience, it's a design worth rediscovering. If this exploration of Cold War ingenuity sparked your curiosity, don't let it stay buried. Share Italiano. Subscribe to In the Beginning for more forgotten technologies, lost skills, and proven survival wisdom. Because the best lessons from history aren't just worth remembering, they're worth rebuilding.